All right, today's project is called Space Travels. And we're going to start with just black paper. And then we're going to go to a special area where I'll have a toothbrush set up, a little cup of white paint with water. You're going to dip it in once, just once. Swish it around a little bit. And then here's what you're going to do. You're going to point it down like this. Oop. Well, that's where we'll put it. And you're going to go like this. You're going to take your thumb, and when you go like that, as you can see, it'll make stars. And this is why I'll have a lot of newspaper under it. Try not to do it near your clothes because it will stain. And you can do it about 6, 7, 8, maybe 10 times. Now, if you get too many drops like I did here, don't worry about it. That's where we'll just put a planet instead, because we're going to put planets on here too. Okay, once that's done, we'll move this out of the way, and we're going to let it dry. So we'll keep it in a dry area because we're not ready for that yet. Okay, our next step is to get a white piece of cardstock. And when you get this cardstock, this is where we're going to make our planets. Okay, so planets are usually round, so this should be pretty easy to do. So we're just going to make some circles. They can be of different sizes, so you might want one that's really medium size. You might want one a little bigger. You might want some more smaller, even tinier. If it doesn't come out like a circle, just keep drawing it. We're going to cover it up with pastel anyway, so. All right. And then, as you know, some planets have rings around them. So if you do a circle and start right about the middle, then this time we're going to do like an oval, not a circle. And if you do that, you can make a little ring. So it doesn't have to be Saturn. It could be just another planet that has one like that. Okay, so let's do one more. I think I'm going to do like a sun in the corner. So this one's going to be really big. I'll just cut it like that. I'll put that somewhere. Okay, next up, you'll get yourself some pastels. And I know a lot of kids don't like crayons because they're, you know, that's what we start out with, like at restaurants, and you know, they're usually the worst crayons. But these are pastels, which are better than crayons because you can blend them. So let's see what that actually means. Well, if you had normal crayons and you did, this is what a normal crayon would look like this, right? So if you just use pastels like that, that's why sometimes students are disappointed. They're like, well, that just looks like a regular crayon. But here's the secret. Okay, you can mix colors together. So just don't do opposite colors. So if I did green right now, this would turn brown. Now, if you want a brown planet, that's fine. But if you don't, you might want to just take some black if you want it to be shadowed on one side. So I'm going to take this. I'm going to make this the shadow side. Now again, if you just color it like crayons and you don't do any mixing, yeah, it's not going to look that good. Okay, usually on one side there's a shadow, and on the other side is where the light hits. So that's where we'll add white. So one side should have white. And on the other side we'll have black. Now, the white looks better, it mixes better. The black usually doesn't mix better. So what you have to do is go back to your original color and now go over the black. And as you go over it, you're actually mixing it. So instead of it looking like black on orange, you want it to look like a shadow. So it'll look like a mix of dark red But you really gotta, see how I'm really rubbing that a lot there? All right. And then usually the middle part is just the regular color. All right, so it should look like a shadow. Okay, I'm gonna add a little more white over here. All right, and that should look pretty 3D. All right, let's try a different color now. Let's do a blue one. So again, we're gonna color the whole thing blue. And again, in the beginning, it just looks like crayon, which doesn't look very exciting. So you want it to look more like paint. This looks like paint right now. A lot of times parents, when I'll send art home, they'll say, is that painted? They won't even realize, oh, that's pastel. Because we don't realize, and because they're oil pastel, that's why they blend. Regular crayons are made out of wax, and the wax does not blend very well. But oil blends really well. Okay, so this side will be the light side, so we're gonna add white to it. So as you can see, this side of the planet's gonna be very light colored. And then it's always good to do it sort of in a kind of a curvy shape instead of just a straight line. Okay, now we'll do a little bit of black. I think I did too much black this time. So I forgot, you really don't need that much black. So I'm just gonna put a little bit of black here, not a whole bunch. Yeah, that'll be enough, that's less. Okay, and then we'll mix it with the blue, with the primary color that I've been using, which was blue. Okay, now the middle part will be just dark blue. Okay, and there we go. We've got 2 planets ready. All right, now, here's the really cool part. We're gonna cut them out, and we're gonna make them look 3D. So I'm gonna start cutting out this blue one here. And as you notice, I like to turn the paper, not the scissors. So it's always easier to cut this way, guys. And if you don't cut this way, that's probably why you're having a hard time cutting. Always keep the scissor in the same place and turn the paper. All right, so there's 1 planet. So I will cover up those spots right there. But we're gonna take a little piece of cardboard so we can make it look 3D. Because if it's flat, I mean, that is cool, but watch, this looks cooler. So if it's there, then it looks more 3D. So that's why we're gonna do that. We're gonna take a glue stick and we're going to glue the square down to the paper. Remember, you can do whatever color planet you want. And then I'll just glue that there. And so now we have a 3D planet. You can see a little shadow there. All right. There was another one I had to cut out, this reddish one. Here we go. Again, turn the paper with your non-dominant hand. All right, there we go. Planet looks a little misshapen, so I'm gonna trim that a little bit better. There we go. Again, find those little cardboard squares. They'll already be ready for you. You just grab a couple. Glue one side. Put it somewhere. Glue again on the other side. Remember, try not to use too much of the glue stick. You don't really need, oops, that came up. Oops. All right. And let's glue that baby right there. It's always better to do the shadows all, whatever side you want to do it. Okay. Keep them on the same side. All right. There we go. There's 2 planets. All right, let's color another planet. Let's do this one right here. So I'm gonna do a purple ring. Okay, remember it's not Saturn. I don't even know what the ring on Saturn, what color it is, but anyway. So these could be all the planets we already know. Whichever grade you study that in, if you've got that all memorized, good, you can do them. So you could do some real planets, and then you could do some imaginary planets. Okay, now this had a little bit of orange, probably from the last kid that used it, which is fine, because not all planets are just one color. They might be a mix. So I might actually mix a little more orange. So I'm going to make this sort of an orangey yellow color. Okay, there we go. Now when doing a really light color and you're going to add black for shadow, I would add the smallest amount of black. For some reason with light colors you don't need a lot of black to get it looked like a shadow. So that's all the black I'm going to do. And then I'm going to take one of the blending colors. And we're going to turn that into a shadow. So now we have a shadow on one side. And let's do some white on this side. Okay, that's looking pretty good. All right, I think I'm gonna add some pink to the purple because I have a couple spots that are, I just think it would be cool to have another color there. Mix it up. Oh, since it would be really hard to cut out that little spot here, I'm just gonna color it black. That way I don't have to get my scissors in there because that would really be hard to do. So I'm just gonna do it black there. Okay, now I'm gonna cut it. Here we go. Alrighty. See how that black then will just kind of blend in. Okay, so here we go. We'll put this planet somewhere. First do the cardboard so it gets the 3D look. Set that down. Add a little more glue. And press as hard as you can. All right, so that's only 3 planets. You should be able to do about 5 or 6. Again, different sizes. If you do smaller ones, it'll make the space even look cooler because then it'll look like some are really far away. Okay. All right, good luck. Make as many planets as you have time to in class. Thank you.